Hello, everyone in YouTube land. We lovers are back here as always. Alright, this is just going to be another random video on Resident Evil. Just something I thought of actually a couple days ago. Yeah, it's on Resident Evil. And what it's about is me talking about the series. And I guess what it means to me, I guess. I don't know. Or what it used to be and what it is now. Kind of going through each game. I don't own Resident Evil 5 or 6, or some of the other spin-offs like Resident Evil Survivor, or Resident Evil, Gun Survivor 1 and 2. I don't have Outbreak 1 or 2. I really don't care for those games that much, especially Resident Evil Survivor, the first one. And Resident Evil Gaiden, or whatever. It's on Game Boy Color. I actually do want to pick that up, just because it has Leon in it. I want to track down a copy of that game. Yeah, Resident Evil Gaiden. It's for the Game Boy Color. Yeah, I don't have Resident Evil Revelations 2, but I have pretty much every single Resident Evil game out of the main games. Some spin-offs like the Umbrella Chronicles, obviously. Yeah. Right here. These are my Resident Evil games. I'm going to go through each one of them, talk about them, talk about this series, what it used to be, and what it is now. And Resident Evil is a shadow of its former self. It really is. It's not what it used to be. It's been going through changes ever since Resident Evil 4 came out. I love Resident Evil 4, I really do, but that was definitely a curse for the series. It was a blessing and a curse for the series. It really just, it changed everything, but not compared to Resident Evil 7, obviously. But, oh my god, okay. Let's see. Resident Evil. Yes, I have the DS version. I do have the DS version of Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil. It's the same version as the PS1 version, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. They took a lot of stuff from George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, obviously, and they really, they made it claustrophobic. Obviously, it's a very B horror. That voice acting is obviously terrible in the first Resident Evil. Just, yeah, terrible voice acting, terrible acting in general, just like Night of the Living Dead, But the setting is what makes it great. Not necessarily a haunted house, but a house in the woods. They get a report that people are being eaten or murders. They go out there, they search for, they, not search for it, but they find out what the hell's going on. Obviously there's a conspiracy, they are aware of Umbrella, and obviously the rest is history, Obviously spoilers, 20 years later, obviously Wesker is working for Umbrella, he's a traitor, but, yeah, just everything about the first Resident Evil, and 2, and 3, and Remake, and 0, especially the first 3, I guess. They kept it simple. That's what horror is supposed to be. It's supposed to be simple and subtle. Less is more, Not over-explaining everything. And it's not until they got to like 5 and 6 when they started just... The whole problem with 5 and 6 is when they were going global. Just all over the world, and terrorism, and bioterror, and just... It just felt like an action movie, obviously. That's what, it's been said to death about Resident Evil 5 and 6. It's a Michael Bay action movie. It's just overproduced, it really is. It's just so much is put into it. Like a horror game, same with a horror movie, you don't need to put a lot into it, It's supposed to be subtle, don't over-explain a lot of things, and it got really convoluted and confusing. I mean, it was convoluted, not really in the classic games, not that much. Like I said, it's a conspiracy, and that's it, and it's it got really convoluted by, I think, maybe 4, I think, but definitely 5 and 6 is what made it just, come on now. Like, 5 should have been the end of the series. Wesker's dead. There you go. Umbrella's been dead forever. You killed Wesker. End of story. You know. Obviously, a lot of ridiculous things were happening in 5. But, okay, moving on to 2. Obviously, Resident Evil 2. One of my favorite games of all time. Top 10, probably. God, I love Resident Evil 2. Just an awesome setting, you know, classic. It builds off from the first one, makes it even better. Probably one of the best video game sequels of all time. Claire, obviously, trying to find her brother. You know, she's, what, 19? College student. Comes to this town tries to find Chris, you know, and then you have Leon, he's a new cop. He's like 21 years old or something like that. First day on the job, runs into this mess, and Raccoon City zombies, obviously, creatures. But it just, what I like about Resident Evil 2 is that just the setting, it's the area. It's just really creepy, and you kind of relate to it in a way. I mean, obviously not a zombie apocalypse, but just, the town looks just like any ordinary town, you know. Just the setting, the police station, the sewers, the basement of the police station, just everything, the labs, just everything about that game. The aesthetic, I guess, the look of it. Oh my god, that game was so huge when it came out. Yeah, the music, obviously the save music. The whole music was obviously inspired by John Carpenter, you know, just very atmospheric and moody, and oh my god, I love Resident Evil 2 so much. Next up, Resident Evil 3. More of the same from Resident Evil 2, obviously, you know, not, you know, anything different. Same in the city, you know, you're trying to escape from the city. Resident Evil 3 takes place, what, a couple hours after Resident Evil 2. Jill is trying to escape the city, you know, her last escape. I think that's like one of the taglines of the game, her last escape or something. But yeah, obviously tons of zombies. Nemesis, you know, obviously the most iconic villain in game, one of the most iconic. Everyone loves Nemesis. Carlos, obviously, but you know, more of the same, you know. Not really building off from 2 that much, but like I said, it's still good, you know. And Umbrella, they pretty much just destroy the entire city, you know. But a very iconic game. I love 3. A lot of people want a remake of this game, but I don't think it'll happen. It's not as popular as 2, though. I'm gonna make a part 2 to this, actually. This is gonna be just part 1, I guess. So I'm gonna make a part 2. I rarely ever do multiple parts to my videos, but yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. I don't want to go too long, so see you in part 2.